So, you decided to pull the no-contact move like a silent ninja, huh? And now you're sitting there, all confused, thinking, why did my ex show up out of nowhere after being gone? Relax, because I'm about to lay out the 5 reasons why she comes crawling back. Yes, after you pulled the whole, I'm not gonna chase her trick, and went quiet, I'm going to explain how this disappearing act can make her stop seeing you as the fool she used to, and maybe even consider giving you another shot. Not saying she will, but it's possible, so don't get your hopes up. But before we dive in, if you're new here, hit the subscribe button. It's not that hard to press a button, right? That's if you truly want to learn something about dealing with women, relationships, and all those messy situations. Now that it's done, let's get to it. Number 1, recovering her admiration. So, what happens? At the beginning of the relationship, you were that guy full of attitude, right? Strong opinions, sharp humor, full of life. But, little by little, you turned into her butler, always available, predictable, with no surprises. And that's where things started to go downhill. She began to see you as a guy who doesn't have his own life, the dog that follows her to every corner with no dignity at all. And honestly, there's nothing more off-putting for a woman than a man who lets himself be molded like clay. You might not have noticed, but you were basically wearing a sign around your neck that said, "Fragile, handle with care." She looked at you and thought, where's the decisive guy? Where's the man I met? He's gone. And guess who took his place? An emotional zombie, begging for attention and doing everything to please her. But when you vanish from the scene, don't call, don't text, don't show any signs of life. It's like giving her a reality check. She starts realizing that you're not that little puppy she had on a leash anymore. The woman who saw you begging one day is now wondering, why isn't he chasing me? Is he evolving? Is he moving on with his life? And of course, that messes with her head. No contact isn't just about making her miss you. It's about showing that you don't need her to breathe, that you have a life beyond her, that you're not going to grovel for attention. And that, my friend, is what makes her think, wait a minute, did I let an interesting guy slip away? Is he strong enough to value himself like this? When you step back and start focusing on yourself, working on your physique, your mental health, living for yourself and not for her, you begin to send the message that you're constantly evolving, that the boring, submissive guy she saw at the end of the relationship was just a temporary phase. And that, without a doubt, makes her rethink everything. This is how you start to recover that lost admiration, by showing yourself as someone with self-worth, someone who loves himself before loving anyone else. Now, one important note. It's pointless to disappear if all you're going to do is drown yourself in beer and cry on the couch. The distance is for working on yourself, rebuilding, and becoming even better than you were before. It's about showing that you can be the man she didn't know how to value. Number 2, curiosity and mystery. Now that you've vanished, suddenly, without a trace, she's there scratching her head and wondering, what the hell is he doing? Because up until yesterday, you were like a ghost, stalking all her pictures, liking posts, texting her, and whining like a lost puppy. Then, all of a sudden, poof, you disappear like magic, and her mind starts to go wild. She starts wondering, why isn't he chasing me? Did he already move on? Did he find someone else? Her brain becomes a machine creating paranoia, and there's no escaping it. Humans are programmed to want what they don't have. Suddenly, you become that favorite toy placed on the highest shelf. Before, all she had to do was reach out and you were there. Now, not anymore. And that's when the game changes. This disappearance creates a void, a sense of loss she probably didn't even realize while you were drooling all over her. What used to be easy and guaranteed now becomes inaccessible, a mystery. And guess what? Mystery sells. When we don't have answers, we create them. Her mind starts to work against itself, imagining surreal scenarios. You laughing, having fun, meeting new people, sleeping with someone much more interesting. She starts to imagine you happy and fulfilled while she's stuck. Why? Because humans are curious creatures. The lack of information creates a hole she needs to fill, even if it's with her own imagination. And what was once boring now becomes a challenge. The same person who was tired of you and was absolutely sure she made the right choice now starts to question, what if I was wrong? What if he really found someone better? And then, my friend, you stop being that boring toy tossed in the corner and become the trophy on the highest shelf. You become a mystery she wants to unravel. If before you were that dull self-help book she dropped halfway, now you're a psychological thriller she can't put down. With each page, more questions, more mystery, more curiosity. The old rule is true. What's easy loses value quickly. What's hard becomes a prize. She starts thinking about ways to win you back, just to kill that damn curiosity. She feels the need to confirm if you really moved on, became a new man, or already forgot about her. And that's when the spark reignites, because you stopped being a free book club and became the enigma she needs to solve. And believe me, the challenge is fuel for any human mind. So the second reason is simple. By disappearing, you not only make her feel the taste of losing you again, but you also become the man she needs to win back to end the mystery. And no one can resist an unsolved riddle. Number 3. The harsh reality of single life. She or he, whatever, ended the relationship thinking she was going to become the queen of the party, filling her feed with happy pics, toasts, and movie-like adventures. She thought, now I'm going to live everything I missed out on with that loser. She believed single life would be a parade of new experiences and an ocean of amazing people, full of new possibilities. Yeah, right! Because the truth is, many times, reality gives you a good smack in the face. At first, it may seem exciting. New flirts, new dates, friends saying, go for it, girl, you deserve better. But after a while, the mask falls off, and the excitement fades away. The parties start to lose their charm. Friday night outings, which once seemed like paradise, turn into just an excuse to get drunk and pretend everything's fine. Single life starts to feel emptier than the wallet of someone who maxes out their credit card every month. So what does she do? Goes out with just about anyone, finds a new guy to try and fill the void. Gets into that famous rebound relationship, where she tries to force the guy into the mold of what you used to be. But surprise, the rebound is trash, or worse than you. And the flaws she used to complain about in you, like snoring or not being romantic enough, start to look like nothing compared to her new Prince Charming, who is selfish, rude, and doesn't care about her. So, that single life she thought would be like a romantic comedy turns into a fifth-rate Mexican soap opera. That freedom that seemed like a dream turns into a prison. She finds herself surrounded by superficiality, shallow relationships, meaningless conversations, and zero emotional depth. And the worst part, she feels lonely. And guess who starts to look like a safe harbor? You, buddy. That boring and predictable relationship she kicked away. Because let's be honest, after taking a few tumbles, she starts to reconsider. Did I throw away something that deep down was really good? Maybe that stability and partnership I had with him were actually worth more. She might try to fool herself, keep posting those filtered photos with motivational captions. But deep down, she's already got a huge emotional void. And you know why? Because she realizes what you two had was something rare. It was real. It was genuine. It wasn't that fake social media stuff, that pretend happiness. And frustration hits, because she starts to see that, while you weren't perfect, you had a value she could only see now after playing the single game and getting burned. So don't be surprised if she reappears wanting to talk. She won't admit that single life sucks. Ego is ego, but the subtext will scream it. Because the harsh reality is this. That pink, rosy world she imagined single life would be is often just an empty bubble. And after bursting several times, she remembers you. After all, that loser she didn't care much about might not have been such a loser after all. If you're tired of being the idiot she uses as a doormat, who accepts any crumbs and still gets kicked around like garbage whenever she pleases, then wake up. It's time to stop swallowing disrespect and turn the tables on this dirty game. Go to the description and get the digital book I left for you. After reading it, you'll learn how to become a real challenge, to never lower your head again, and to put any woman in her place without mercy. Enough of being stepped on and discarded like a worthless fool. If you want respect, then start acting like a man who commands it. Number 4, fear of losing you to someone else. Fear. It's a funny thing, isn't it? When you were there, available like fresh bread at the bakery, she didn't care one bit. But now that you've vanished and are focused on becoming the best version of yourself, the story starts to change. You start projecting this aura of happiness, growth, and confidence she no longer recognizes. You, who were the same predictable guy as always, now became the man of mystery, and the fear starts creeping in. What if he finds someone better than me? If you're truly dedicating yourself to change, and not just pretending to be okay while crying in the shower, listening to sad music, things start to work in your favor. She may not see you on social media, but the news gets around. A friend comments. A picture of you with a new look pops up here and there. Or you simply disappear without showing that desperate vibe anymore. She starts thinking, did he find someone? Is he already seeing someone else? What if he really moved on? That fear is a powerful fuel. Suddenly you become an asset on the rise, and she realizes she's losing ground. What seemed guaranteed is now slipping away. Because that's how it is. People only truly value when they start to feel the loss. And if she thinks you, that guy she thought wouldn't go anywhere without her, might now be with someone more attractive, interesting, and confident, the alarm goes off. Now, one important detail. For this to work, you need to actually be better. It's no good being the guy who just vanishes to sit there with sad puppy eyes, checking her profile every day to see if she posted anything. Because if she notices it's all just a show, that you're just waiting for an opening to crawl back, all that fear will evaporate faster than beer on a hot day. She needs to feel like she's truly losing you. And that only happens if you become a stronger, more focused, and happier version of yourself. Someone who, without her, kept moving forward. Fear is powerful, but only if you feed it with real actions. Show that you're growing, that your life hasn't stalled. Even without posting anything, your demeanor, your behavior, and the lack of desperation will do the work for you. And the best part? The desperation that used to be yours is now hers. She starts wanting to chase you, to have you back, before someone smarter and sharper realizes the value you have. She reconsiders her decision, thinking, what if I really let him slip away? Because seeing you, the one she underestimated, turning into a better man and potentially desirable for other women, is the scariest fear she can have. The fear of losing you to someone smarter than her. So, for this fear to work, the rule is clear. Actually be that better guy. Disappear, yes, but disappear to come back even stronger. Because then, my friend, when she realizes what she's losing, it might be too late. And guess who will be on top of this story? You. Number 5, trying to force a change. You know when you're playing a video game and, after messing up so much, the controller feels like it wants to jump out of your hand in frustration.
Well, some people end the relationship pretty much like that, as a last resort to see if you finally get your act together.
It's not that she stopped liking you. It's just that patience ran out, and the hope that you'd change as things were, well, it turned to dust. So the breakup became that wake-up slap to see if you'd finally snap out of it. When you apply no contact and step away, she sees it as a chance to reevaluate the situation. Did he get it now? Did he finally see what I wanted him to? If during this time apart you really change and start showing what she expected, like stopping being immature, taking care of yourself, and getting out of that lazy crybaby mode, she might see the breakup as a sort of push to get you on the right path. She wanted you to take the reins, to see what was screwing up the relationship and change, but since she couldn't do it with words, patience, or even drama, she went to the extreme. She kicked you out. And now, seeing that you stepped back, got your act together, and started to evolve, she thinks, well, maybe the breakup was good for something, right? Now, there's an important detail you can't ignore. This strategy only works if the breakup was really due to dissatisfaction and not lack of interest. And there's an even bigger warning. This can turn into a cycle of manipulation if you're not careful. Because if every time she wants you to change something, the threat is to leave you, you'll end up being a puppet, and she'll mold you however she wants, like clay. Don't fall into this cycle. If she ended things because she couldn't stand you being dead weight anymore and now you've truly changed, fine. It can work. Both of you win because the breakup brought growth. But if it's that same old game, if you don't change, I'm out, then the whole thing becomes toxic, and you'll always be walking on eggshells to not upset her. So, this distance is only positive if both of you take the time to reflect and really make healthy adjustments. Because if no contact led to a real change, she'll see that the punishment was worth it. But if every time she wants to teach you a lesson, the answer is to leave, you're screwed, man. She's going to start controlling you with that emotional play. The truth is, if you value yourself and really changed for you, not for her, the situation can work. But if it was just to get a pat on the back and hear a good job, you changed, well, it won't be long before you're back in the same hole as before. So when she comes back, don't get too excited. Analyze, reflect. Did you want this change? Or was it just a desperate attempt to please her? If the answer is the first one, you have chances for a healthier restart. If it's the second, buddy, the rope is only going to tighten around your neck. And if she pulls the rope, she'll have the certainty that she has you in the palm of her hand. Number 6, she just wants to see if you're still the fool. She left behind. Now hold on tight, because this one's going to hurt. The 6th reason why she comes back is the cruelest one, and the one no one wants to admit. She just wants to see if you're still the same fool she left behind. That's right. No filter, no sugarcoating. She comes back because she wants to test if you've really changed or if you're still that emotional doormat she used to wipe her feet on. She wants to know if you're still there, all hopeful, like a little dog wagging its tail, ready to forgive every crumb of attention she throws on the ground. She wants to see if, despite everything, you'll still open the doors of your heart for her to come in and have a party. It's a power test. She comes back to confirm if deep down she still has control over you. To see if, even after kicking you out, she can still snap her fingers and make you come crawling back. This is a dirty game, my friend. And if you don't see this, I'm sorry, but she's going to play cat and mouse until you emotionally destroy yourself. Because, in this game, the one who comes back for this reason doesn't want to get back together or try again. She wants to see if you're still that puppet she left behind. She wants to feel the pleasure of knowing that, even though she kicked you out, she still has the power to make you jump, sit, and roll over with just a snap. She reappears, plays the victim, says she misses you, drops a, "I've been thinking a lot about us," and in your head, you're already building the scene of the happy ending. But before you finish the movie, she's already disarmed you because the intention was never to truly come back. She just wants to see if you're still going to respond to those needy messages at 2 a.m. She wants to know if you'll still chase her like a fool when she starts dropping hints. She wants to confirm if, despite all your talk of, "I don't need her to be happy," you're still stuck in the chain she put you in. And you know what the problem is? Many guys fall for this trick. She throws the bait, and in a second, you're back to being the same idiot as always. Forget all the progress, all the growth, and all that talk of, "I'm a new man now." The truth is, you want so badly to prove you're worth it that you go, humiliate yourself, and give her the confirmation that you haven't changed at all. So this last reason is for you to wake up, be smart. If she shows up after everything, after you pulled away and starts testing, ask yourself, why is she here? Does she really want to come back or just validate her ego? Because if it's the second option, and most of the time it is, you're only going to reinforce in her mind that you're still that needy, emotionally dependent, and weak guy. Don't be the guy who falls for this trick. Don't be the guy who, even after being kicked and left behind, still gives her the satisfaction of knowing she can do whatever she wants with you. If she came back just to play, slam the door in her face. No mercy, because you're not a toy. You're not a second option. You're not an emotional spare tire for when she's bored and wants to see if she can still mess with your head. Be the man she regrets losing, not the fool she knows she can have back whenever she wants. End of story.